Goodbye, small hands. Goodbye, small heart. Goodbye, small head. My soul is climbing tree trunks and swinging from every branch. They're calling me, they're calling me, they're calling me.
Sleater-Kinney are a feminist all-female punk band formed in Washington State in 1994 as part of the Riot Girl movement, apparently. There's usually 3 of them. There's currently 2 of them. Between 2006 and 2014, there were none of them, and they have released 10 studio albums. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was their 4th studio album, and it's my first encounter with them. I had no idea what to expect when I started listening to this. So it's obviously kind of in the punk sort of area, but it's not straight out and out punk, I would definitely say. I'd say they're kind of somewhere in the interface between punk and alt rock, whatever that means. They have a non-punk-like complexity to what they're doing in this album. So there's 2 electric guitars and a drum kit. And sometimes the sound of one of the guitars sounds more like a bass. I was a bit confused thinking that actually there isn't a bass in here. Quite a lot of the time that's fairly obviously true, but sometimes I think one of them's playing fairly low notes maybe, or maybe even detuned. And they're tending to play quite intertwined lines of stuff. So they tend to have 2 they're not playing chords, but they're not playing melodies either. They're playing kind of figures, riffs. I don't know what the right word for it is. And there's 2 of them going on, and the interplay between them is musically unusual at times, sometimes less so. And then there's drums, of course, going on in the background. I would describe the playing as being, I think possibly the best word I've come across for this is angular. Kind of jaggedy, it's pointed, it's kind of spiky. In a way that's the opposite of fluid. It's kind of it's not done in a fluid way. It's not awkward, but it's done deliberately in this kind of way. Or this is just the way that they play, but they're definitely embracing it. It's quite a jangly sound. It's mostly kind of mid-paced. Some of it's a bit slower, some of it's a bit faster. It's all quite intense, and there's definitely some human mistakes in here that I understand they're recorded fairly quickly. I can imagine they might be quite interesting to see live, to be honest. The singing also has this kind of interplay as well. There's 2 female voices going, not all at the same time, but they're often singing different things at the same time and have lines that interact with each other in interesting ways. So the whole thing it's not complex in terms of strange time signatures or strange changing time signatures. But it is complex in terms of the amount of interplay that's going on here. What else was going to say? Yes, 2 voices. One of them, she can sing quite this kind of very tight vibrato that I couldn't possibly do an impression of, but it sounds like, there was some folk singer in the 60s who sounded like that, and I can't remember who on earth it was, but and it's got quite a certain intensity to it in that singing. The songs generally are more about relationships and emotional pain and stuff, and not so much about feminism and politics, as you might imagine from the description that I gave of them and the descriptions that I've read of them. And my overall feeling is that I quite enjoyed it. It's not my normal sort of thing that I would choose, but I would, potentially listen to this again out of choice, potentially even seek it out to listen to. And I'm not quite sure what it is about it that made it better for me than other things in the same kind of areas that I'm less bothered by. And I think it probably is the complexity of the musical interplay here that I quite enjoyed. Quite enjoyed the intensity of it, the feel of it. It was done in quite a good way. So that's me coming to the end. And as I always do at this point, I'd like to invite you to comment on the video and tell me what you think of the album, what you think of the review as well. But I always enjoy it when we get a bit of conversation going about these albums. So please do type away in the comments box. That's it from me for now.